Laura and Lisa were having their usual monthly lunch get-together. They have been best friends since high school, where they formed a strong bond of friendship which has endured through their adulthood. It seems like Laura was constantly have problems with her husband, Ethan, and Lisa was always there for her to dump on. Being a single woman, Lisa couldn't give a lot of marital advice, but she was a good listener and a good friend. Laura, arriving at the restaurant early, had requested a booth in a place where they could talk privately. When Lisa sat down, they ordered coffee first, then settled in for a quiet conversation. Lisa could see that her friend was disturbed, and she assumed it was regarding Ethan. "It's about Ethan again, isn't it?" Lisa asked, touching Laura's hand. "Oh, Lisa, I don't know what I'm going to do with him. He's getting worse. Every night, he demands fun, and he's so rough. He does his thing and boom, he's finished. He shows no concern for me. I can't tell you when I last got excited. Sometimes, I feel he's just using me for his own satisfaction with no regard for my feelings, although I know he loves me. I used to think he was just overstimulated, but now he has a new thing. He was clowning around one night and happened to put on my bra. I jokingly said he looked cute and dared him to put on panties too. That started it. He got all excited and we made love, and I admit it was good. But since then, he's been doing the same thing. Without any dares, he waits for me in bed now, wearing my underwear and all excited. He likes to put on my panties and bra and get me to be his lesbian lover. He's played bedroom games before, but this, I'm not ready for it. It makes me very uncomfortable, but I love him and I do want him to be happy." "Do you think it's crazy? I mean, I know there's probably a lot of men who like to wear women's clothes, but what should I do?" Lisa paused with her response, then said, "I don't know, Laura. I'm no expert. It may make you uncomfortable, but if he's only play acting, what's the harm? How far do you think he'll take this fetish for lingerie?" "I don't know, but what if he wants to wear all my clothes? Am I supposed to accept that, too? I don't think I can handle it. What does that say for me? Am I not feminine enough for him?" "Well, hon, I think I can understand how you feel, but it's too soon to make anything out of it. Play along with him for a while and see where he goes. Maybe it's just a passing novelty. Just take it one day at a time. That's the only advice I can give you. Let's eat. I'm sort of in a hurry today. Got to get back to the drugstore to do paperwork. Those insurance forms are a pain. I didn't need a degree in pharmacy, I needed a business degree," Lisa said, as they studied the menu and ordered their lunch. Laura heeded Lisa's advice and went along with Ethan's new idea of a bedroom game. As to be expected, Ethan's simple act of wearing Laura's undies escalated to include stockings and dresses, and was no longer limited to the bedroom. Laura didn't have the heart to stop him because she noticed how he got caught up in it and really enjoyed wearing women's clothes. She felt it was a harmless activity around the house, and he did look cute that way. In fact, he made an attractive woman with a little makeup. The game progressed from simple crossdressing in lingerie for foreplay to dressing fully for casual wear on the weekends. Laura liked the fact that when Ethan was cross-dressed, he became very docile and domestic and helped with the chores around the house, so much so that she began to encourage and assist him in dressing so he would do things to free her for her own work. She saw how happy and mild-mannered Ethan became, and their intimate life had actually Improved, he was so much more gentle in bed in a frilly nightgown which put him in character as a woman. He became more patient about waiting for Laura to reach the end. He became so much more in tune of her feelings. When Laura met Lisa again for lunch the next month, she couldn't wait to give Lisa an update on Ethan. "Lisa, you remember about Ethan's fetish? Well, as to be expected, he's now into completely cross-dressing, and, honestly, I've never seen him so happy. He's gotten so domestic, you wouldn't believe the things he does around the house when he's dressed. It's like having a maid. And our love life has certainly improved. I still think he's overexcited, but he's a lot more gentle and passive." "Well, girl, you sure sound different than the last time we met. You were so worried." "Yes, well, I took your advice and decided to see where it was going, and it escalated from underwear to everything. I'm still apprehensive about him behaving like a woman, but, I must admit rather selfishly, the benefits are fantastic. He seems more relaxed, fun to be around, and I'm getting a lot of things done. And he's so happy. I'm even helping him with his little game. So, really, what's the harm? Laura, it sounds like Ethan might eventually want to be a woman. And since you want him to be happy, how would you like to help him achieve his goal?" Lisa asked, with a mischievous smile. "I'm not sure I understand, Lisa, what do you mean?" "Well, my friend, I may be able to help both of you. We could help Ethan with his desire to be a woman, and get him to slow down in the bedroom. Are you interested?" Lisa asked as Laura squirmed attentively. "Please go on," Laura directed. "If we gave Ethan a daily dose of female hormones, it would reduce his drive and give him some secondary female characteristics, which, I'm sure, would make him very happy. But Lisa, I don't want to change him into a real woman. I love him and I don't want to lose him to a gender change." "Oh no, Laura, it doesn't have to go that far. It would just cause his personality to mellow out, broaden his hips a little, maybe make his chest develop a little. A lot of this is based on genetics, you know, depends on how the females of his family looked. I've never seen his family, so I have no idea how they look. But he has the potential to be an attractive woman. He's of average height and slim build. My size, actually. That's why my clothes fit him so well. HMM.so, how would we give him the hormones? He won't knowingly take them, I'm reasonably sure. At least it's never been mentioned. It would seem to me, if he was serious in this, he would have talked about it." "I agree, but I've been thinking, he's a diabetic and takes an insulin shot. Every morning, he buys his insulin from me. I could spike his insulin with estrogen in a measured dosage. He'd never know the difference, and he'd be getting a double treatment, so to speak," Lisa said, with a gleam in her eye. Laura hesitated, then said, "Oh, wouldn't that be the ultimate? Let's do it. It won't harm him, will it?" "No, and if and when he stops the estrogen, his female characteristics would regress back somewhat." They both giggled through the rest of their lunch, talking about possible scenarios of Ethan with chest. The next morning, Laura exchanged Ethan's insulin vial with another insulin cocktail that Lisa had provided. Ethan took his daily injection and continued with his daily routine. Laura had some feelings of guilt about what she was doing, if it was the right thing, how it would affect him. She had a discussion with Ethan about his cross-dressing, why he liked doing it, and if he planned to continue in the long run. He admitted that he enjoyed wearing woman's clothes and described the feelings he had while dressed. And yes, he had no plans of stopping. With that knowledge, Laura resolved to help her husband be happy and to accept him no matter what. After several weeks, Laura became aware of subtle changes in Ethan's personality. He was more complacent of occurrences of things that would have usually annoyed him. In fact, he was so much more pleasant to be around, and she complimented him about that, attributing it to his new feminine persona he displayed when en femme. He had definitely slowed down in the bedroom, to Laura's joy, but his cross-dressing activity seemed to increase. Their activity, while diminished, began to take on a more noticeable lesbian mode. No penetration but strictly oral contact. Now, Laura was aggressively helping him with the transformation, teaching him makeup tips, feminine demeanor, etc., and Ethan was an eager student. He was letting his hair grow longer and it appeared to grow faster and thicker. It was his choice to pursue his new image, and he was very happy about all that was happening, though a bit confused about why things were changing so rapidly at this point in his life. In 2 months, Ethan's hair was long enough to condition and style. Laura showed him how to fashion his hair so that it could be worn masculine during the day and easily converted to feminine at night and weekends when he chose to cross-dress, which was full-time every weekend. He was consumed with a female appearance. At her suggestion, he was now wearing lingerie all the time and had established his own wardrobe. Laura encouraged him to shave his legs and underarms. Long, soaking bubble baths and skin conditioners improved his skin to a feminine texture. At night, he and Laura would stand side by side in front of a mirror and compare bodies. He would envy her body so much. Her curvy hips, well-formed chest, slender, shapely limbs. Laura could only smile with the knowledge of her secret. Outwardly, she consoled her husband and told him he still made an attractive woman. She would then make love to him in the superior position, making him feel even more feminine. She, too, was changing. She was beginning to enjoy the dominant role in their intimate life. Now, she could control the time of excitement. Ethan had become very submissive in bed. Laura knew she had to keep stroking Ethan's female ego. One night, he commented to Laura that he felt he was losing weight because his pants were getting loose in the waist, but then, they were getting tight in the hips and behind. That confused him. Also, he was thinking of exercising because the muscles in his arms and legs were getting soft, but Laura was able to talk him out of any exercises. She had to control herself from laughing out loud, but she and Lisa were enjoying the changes. As Ethan continued his nightly routine of dressing up as a woman, from dresses to nightgowns, he began to notice that those garments began to fit him so much better, especially his bras. He became aware that his chest were changing. At first, his pointers became slightly enlarged and very sensitive. He assumed it was because he was wearing a bra so often, and he said nothing. But then, he was delighted to see the entire chest start to develop. Soon, he no longer needed the padding in the bra cups. He was able to caress his chest in his hands, that gave him great pleasure. It wasn't until Laura noticed the distinct cleavage of Ethan's chest that he commented about the changes in his body. At the times when he was cross-dressing and admiring himself in the mirrors, he had wondered what he could do to improve his feminine appearance, but it was really happening and he didn't know why, but he hoped it would continue. Now, when he and Laura compared bodies, they looked more alike, which thrilled both of them. Of course, Laura said nothing. except to frequently compliment Ethan about how feminine he looked as he improved his skills with dressing and makeup, which he accepted graciously. He was now able to wear form-fitting dresses, with his own small, shapely chest, narrow waist, and enlarged hips. His slender legs were beautiful in stockings and high heels. His skin had gotten soft, his facial hair was barely visible. He had become an attractive-looking woman. He was very pleased with his appearance, and Laura was happy for him. She tried to get him to join her out in public while en femme, but he was still too shy to do that. He didn't want to risk being recognized by anybody and wasn't convinced he wouldn't be read. He just enjoyed being around the house fully dressed and feeling like a woman. On the weekends, he spent time doing his nails and practicing with his makeup and acting like a woman, which was becoming very natural for him. Laura continued to help him as much as she could, as she was enjoying the transformation. They were now like girlfriends. Ethan was no longer a man in bed either, for which Laura was very happy. And his personality had changed for the better. He had become very relaxed and docile. Laura would have settled for just that change over all others. Lisa kept Laura supplied with the specially mixed insulin. After 9 months, Ethan's chest were as large as Laura's, and he could no longer conceal them in male attire. Without a bra, they jiggled when he walked, yet with a bra they stood out proudly. He would brag to Laura about his figure, and she was happy for him. She had finally convinced Ethan to go out in public as a woman. Ethan looked and acted like a natural woman with his own hair well coiffed and perfect makeup. With all the practice he'd had, walking in high heels was now easy. They actually went shopping for dresses, where Ethan, for the first time, could try on the garments he chose. He even got himself professionally fitted for a bra, which had become a necessary garment. At this time, Ethan decided he could no longer dress as a man. Men's clothes now fit him poorly, and his chest were too large to conceal. Being a self-employed computer consultant, he began to set up new accounts, calling on customers as a woman, of course using his own name. He found that being an attractive young woman, his business actually improved, and he was the happiest he'd ever been. Perhaps the change in his personality helped, along with his looks. He had become so ladylike, Laura was impressed. In bed, Laura assumed the role of making love as the male partner. Ethan was now so submissive that he preferred to be on the bottom and made love too, and Laura definitely enjoyed it more that way. When she embarrassingly confided this to Lisa, Lisa admitted that she envied Laura and wished it had happened to her. Laura and Ethan met Lisa for a girls' lunch. Lisa was very impressed with Ethan's new persona. She quickly forgot that he was a male. During the meal, they made a lot of girl talk, hairstyles, clothes, etc. Over coffee, the conversation got serious. Lisa asked Ethan if he enjoyed living as a woman, to which he replied that he loved it and would never change back to a man if given the opportunity. Lisa asked if he had any idea why his body changed. He admitted he didn't know, maybe a timely fluke with his glands, or maybe the influence of mind over matter. Lisa looked at Laura. Laura winked and nodded. Lisa said, "Ethan, should I tell you what really happened?" Ethan, knowing that Lisa was a pharmacist and had some medical training, nodded in agreement. He considered her an authority. "Well," she began, "you know what female hormones would do to a male's body?" Yes, I've read about transgendered men taking estrogen to change their bodies prior to a gender change. Now you know it's true. No! How would I have gotten access to estrogen? You're accusing me of taking hormones? Possibly, would that be so bad? Are you unhappy? Not at all. But how? Ethan was really puzzled and didn't know where this conversation was going. You know the insulin you buy from me? I've been mixing in some estrogen. You've been taking hormones for the last 12 months. Laura told me you wanted to be a woman, so we thought we'd help you achieve your wish. Are you upset about that? My gosh, no. I've never been so pleased with my body. I'm so happy living this way. I could kiss you. You've changed my whole lifestyle and I feel I'm a much better person. My business has never been better and I love and understand Laura more now than I ever have in the past. Laura and Lisa breathed a large sigh of relief. They weren't sure how Ethan was going to react. And Lisa had really put her neck in a noose by tampering with his medication. But one question, Lisa, Ethan continued, smiling, did my chest have to be so large? Both girls burst out laughing. Blame your mother. I'm afraid the changes in your body are caused by your genetic makeup. If the females in your family are large-chested, it's likely you would be too. Yes, both my mother and sister are big, but I think I'm bigger than they are. He smiled, but I love it, and it's good for business.